Okay. Knee-jerk reaction. There's two of them this week. There should be a lot more because that was a little bit of a wild game. Yeah, I'd say a bit of a wild game, actually. But first knee-jerk reaction, we're going to say is, God damn, this defense still can't stop the run. They still can't stop nothing. I thought this was supposed to be an improved defense. Well, rational thinking says that there's still some adjustments that can be made to help fix the leaky run defense. In fact, the things I'm about to tell you are the things that I thought for sure were going to happen prior to the game, right? I thought they were going to elevate a guy like Breiden Fehiko to the active roster because he specializes in being a run stopper. You know, a lot of the times they have formations where they roll out Morgan Fox and Jerry Tillery in the same set because, you know, the pass rush specialists. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like Morgan Fox. I'm not bashing Morgan Fox. Jerry Tillery, he's still a useless sack of shit. Let's just be real. His pass rush win rate is 3%. You know how fucking terrible that is? Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. So, they decided to continue to roll with the sets with Morgan Fox and Jerry Tillery. Yeah, and I thought they were going to elevate Fehiko as a run stopping specialist to help in those sets. Didn't really happen. Christian Covington, he actually had a good game. You know, it wasn't the greatest, but better than he normally plays. So I'm not going to even mention him. I'm not going to hate on him too much. What I will say is they also could have used Troy Reeder. Let's not forget we have Troy Reeder, who's a linebacker, okay? He's more of a run-stopping specialist as well, and he hasn't really seen the field too much this year, which it gets tricky, right? Because Kenneth Murray, he's really starting to kind of trend in the right direction finally, and you don't really want to screw with his confidence by taking away too many snaps from him. At the same time, you can't really take Drue Tranquill off the field. He's by far your best linebacker. He can stop the run. He can cover. Yada, yada, yada. But why not go a more traditional route in some of those obvious run situations and have multiple linebackers on the field? They run a lot of single linebacker. Why not have a Troy Reeder and a Drue Tranquill and a Kenneth Murray all out there at the same time? Okay, there was still a couple plays where it was like, I want to say it was like 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, a few different times too, where they were still in nickel. You're still in nickel. Add the extra defensive lineman, add the extra linebacker. You can't stop the run. And I tell you, they couldn't stop the run. They allowed 213 rushing yards. Think about that for a second. 213 rushing yards. That's 6.9 yards per carry they allowed. 6.9 yards a carry? That's atrocious and unacceptable. So maybe moving forward, when we face another team that has those elite type of running backs, maybe they'll think more about stacking the box with run specialists. They still have them. Some of them are just on the practice roster. Some of them are just being regulated to special teams. They need to start mixing it up a little bit. And they need to stop giving Jerry Tillery 25 plus snaps against a run-heavy specialist offense. That's unacceptable. Get that guy off the field. He's gone next year anyway, no matter what he does from here on out. Otherwise, they would have picked up his 5th-year option, which they didn't. Now, it's not just all on him, okay? They were having trouble tackling all around. Even the second level, the third level, it was, yeah. Everyone's a little bit at fault. But we all kind of expected Chubb to do his thing. But there's things you could do to limit that type of thing moving forward. Okay? Fehiko needs to start getting some looks. Or even the rookie from UCLA. Okay? There's no reason you need to have multiple pass rushing inside the defensive interior guys on the field at the same time against a run-heavy offense. It didn't make sense to me. So they could do that moving forward. I'm not sure they will, but it makes sense. You know, like that can be addressed. And even if it only helps a little bit, look how close that game was. Sometimes that extra little bit makes it so you're not even in that situation at the end to begin with. Now, moving forward, the second knee-jerk reaction I have for you guys, it's probably the biggest one this week, is why wouldn't they punt the ball on 4th and 2? The Browns had no timeouts left. It was well under the 2-minute warning. So, and you're only up by 2 points, and you lose by a field goal. So why not punt the ball and make it so they have to go as far as possible, rather than even risking that they have a short field? Rational thinking says, plot twist. Plot twist, I agree with you. I agree. In fact, I'm a little scared that there's so many other people out there that say they like going for it in that situation, which is bonkers. Luckily, they pulled it through. I'm not going to complain too much. They pulled through. They got the win. Staley's a young head coach. He's still learning. It's only his second year ever as a head coach. But we have to see that he's learning moving forward. Okay? Now, you don't want to put your team in that situation, right? So, if you're a defensive head coach and you preach about trusting your defense and how great it is, why not put the ball in their hands? I know they were getting gassed, but chances are, with only that much amount of time left on the clock, they're not going to run the ball a bunch. But then again, Amari Cooper was kind of cooking up J.C. Jackson. In fact, J.C. Jackson allowed a 113 passer rating when targeted. That means every time they threw his way, the quarterback had over 100 passer rating. Maybe that's what Staley was worried about. I don't really know. Like, I understand the logic of wanting to, like, not even give them a chance at all. I get that. I kind of see it from that perspective too. But you can't do that. You have to punt the ball, take a penalty, run the clock down, take the penalty, move back an extra 5 yards to give your punter a little extra room to try to nail them down in there. Okay? And like I said, there's a lot of people out there saying that they're okay with going for it on 4th down there. But let me ask you this question. Would you still be okay? Would you still be saying that if they had actually lost? Now, those same people are going to say, well, what are you complaining about? They won. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But those are the type of things that are not always going to go your way moving forward. Those are adjustments that need to be made on the fly going farther into the season so that those type of things don't happen. Okay? Now, I wish I had more explanation for that. But yeah, you have a punter, you changed out your punter for a guy who has more hang time to his kicks. So why not trust your punter to pin them down? was a little too close. They won. Like I said, I'm not going to complain. And, yeah, we'll move forward next week. By the way, what do we attribute J.C. Jackson's poor performance for so far this season to? Is it the ankle surgery? Or are we thinking maybe he was a system corner? I don't know, just a little side thought. Because 113 passer rating when targeted is bonkers for a guy making $18 million a year. I don't know if that's why Staley didn't trust the defense. I'm not saying that. But for a defensive head coach, you need to trust your defense in that situation. They did stop him. But because they went 4-on-4 down, they were close enough to even think about kicking a field goal. Where if they would have punted it, they never would have even gotten close to that range. Just from some food for thought, I guess. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. We got the W. Keep plugging away. Keep moving forward. Don't get too caught up in the highs or too caught up in the lows. It's just one week after another. On to the next. Bolt up, baby.